Black and White Network fans, we are back with another video, and we're going to be talking about Joe Biden. Joe Biden is in trouble. He is in bit trouble right now with gas prices run amok, inflation run amok. And you know what, guys? Gas prices are so bad right now that gas stations are actually using marketing gimmicks really to get you to get gas from them. Because if you look at the signs, at least where I live at, they'll show you a sign, $3.89 a gallon. And you're like, man, wow, that's great. You pull up to the pump, you put your credit card in, and it's $4.10. That happened to me. That happened to me, folks, because they changed their marketing method. That $4.10, if you were actually paying with a credit or debit card at the pump, they dupe you. They got me. It's really bad right now for Joe Biden. Inflation at a 40-year high. Midterm elections coming this fall. And Joe Biden and the Democrats are so desperate now, folks. They're turning to TikTok teenagers to spread their lies about inflation and high gas prices. I wish I can actually say that I was making this up, folks, but I'm not. I'm dead serious. Check this out. Joe Biden deploys teenage TikTok stars to blame soaring gas prices and inflation on Russia as U.S. worst cost of living crisis in 40 years taints president's ratings ahead of midterms. It's gotten this bad, folks. They are desperate right now. 18-year-olds know absolutely nothing really about the gas prices, what's actually causing the rise, and inflation. I mean, if you ask even just ask the average everyday American what the consumer price index means, they probably don't know. Now, they teach you that in college if you study economics. I'm willing to bet that these TikTok stars have no idea what consumer price index mean. I'm pretty sure that they don't understand the ins and outs of the economy. But let's read this. Joe Biden has cynically deployed TikTokers to blame soaring inflation on Russia's invasion of Ukraine, even though it was a serious issue for months before that war began. And I talked about that before, folks. I talked about that. Gas prices were on the rise months before Russia ever invaded Ukraine. It got worse afterwards because Russia does play a role in this, but it is really Joe Biden's policies that have failed. The White House held a Zoom briefing for about 30 popular internet figures who promptly took to their social media accounts to talk about what the White House had briefed them on. They included Ellie Ziller, an 18-year-old who has more than 10 million followers and who later did as she was asked with a pro-Biden clip. And these TikTokers, folks, they're just talking heads. What Biden tells them, or whoever Biden's handlers are, whatever they're telling them, they're just echoing that. Chances are they do not understand the ins and outs of this. This is a move to dupe you, the American people, especially the younger people. Now, I've never been on TikTok. I never wanted to be on TikTok. I have no desire to be on TikTok. Here she says, she posted a video on her profile entitled, "Why is gas so expensive? It is unclear if any of the influencers were paid for their services, although they were approached because of their work with a nonprofit called Gen Z for Change." I don't know who that is, folks. Probably some woke climate change activists or something like that. But this is, I'm assuming, Ellie Ziegler right here. It goes on. It says, Ziegler did not shy away from the fact that she had been in contact with the Biden administration over the course of making the video. Yes, because she couldn't think for herself as to why gas and inflation are out of control. She had no idea. Quote, "Why is gas so expensive and why is the United States inflation rate at a 4-time decade high?" The video starts. "I had the opportunity to ask the White House why gas down the street is $7, and here's what they said. The first obvious reason is that we're getting out of a 2-year pandemic. When use goes up, the price goes up." That is a lie, folks. That's a lie. That is 100% a complete lie. In 2020, during the pandemic, under Donald Trump, was gas anywhere near this high? No, it was not. And she says here, when use goes up, when you use gas, the price goes up. That is not the way it works. There is a law of supply and demand. I don't want to bore you guys with all of the economics of that. But basically, guys, when you cut back supply, like Biden wants to be woke on climate change, doesn't want us to produce anything. When supply is down, but demand is up, guess what? The price will go up. It goes on here, says, but the call was predominantly about Ukraine and Russia. So how does that relate? She asks. Russia is one of the top 3 producers of oil and is actually their number 1 revenue source. Now with Putin starting this horrific fight between Ukraine and Russia, nobody wants to work with him and do international trade. Well, I don't know if Biden actually told her or not, but when he got in office, he cut back on fossil fuel production here in this country because he wanted to be woke on climate change. And he is the one that wanted to go to Russia and get them to pump out oil from them, and we were going to buy it. And now they don't want to buy Russian oil, because of the war. So Biden is just going to go and try to find some other country that hates our guts so we can buy it from them. Because how dare we actually produce our own oil? I'm pretty sure that Zeller was not told that. Zeller, who posted her 1-minute video on Sunday, was one of 30 TikTok stars in the Zoom meeting held last Thursday with White House officials and national security staffers, the Washington Post reported. They spread the Biden message after inflation last week revealed to have increased by 7.9% year on year, the highest jump in 40 years. They're going to blame that on Russia too. The cost of living has been soaring for months, with the latest reporting period closing just 4 days after Putin invaded Ukraine, meaning Americans have been warned to brace for an even worse increases in April. Joe Biden is desperate to shift the blame for the tanking economy as his own approval rating crumbles, with this November's midterms currently predicted to spell grim news for his Democrat Party. The White House briefing was led by Matt Miller, a special advisor for communications at the White House National Security Council, and Psaki, the Post reported. This is pretty low, man. This is pretty low that Biden and the Democrats are using TikTokers with no real knowledge on the economy, economics, and what's going on in the world. They don't know. I mean, guys, I understand how some of this stuff works. I don't have all the answers, and I have an undergraduate degree in economics with a finance concentration, and I have an MBA in finance. I studied some of this stuff. These are teenagers. They know nothing about this. And I'm not giving you my credentials to tell you I'm an expert on this. No. I mean, I was in college a while ago, and I don't work in economics today. I'm doing what I'm doing here, but I understand basic economics, and I understand the law of supply and the law of demand. I understand economics. They don't. They're just out there being told what to say because the Democrats are desperate. And they want teenagers to spread their lies for them. This is just unreal. All these TikTok stars, man, and they're just preaching to kids, really. That's really what they're doing, guys. But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, Joe Biden extremely desperate, man, that he has to get teenagers to lie to the American people. This is embarrassing. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.